Black writer sues WWE for racism and discrimination. The headline alone, there doesn't even need to be a trial, a jury, or anything. Guilty. Okay, come on. Come on. Really? Come on. Former WWE writer filed a lawsuit in federal court naming WWE Vince McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, Kevin Dunn, Ryan Callahan, and other executives as defendants. Britney Abrahams, a Black woman, said she was fired by WWE last year in retaliation for pushing back against racism, as well as racist and stereotypical pitches in the writer's room, according to court documents. Okay. Abrahams claims within first 2 weeks of employment with WWE, she shadowed Kevin Dunn, on the right there, who wrote a backstage scene for wrestler Bianca Belair, on the left. A line written for Bianca Belair stating, "Uh-oh, don't make me take off my earrings and beat your ass." Abrahams also claims that Belair herself was uncomfortable with the line and repeatedly said that she didn't want to say it. Okay. In conversation with Miss Belair the following day, informed Abrahams that she told Kevin Dunn 3 different times that I don't want to say that line, but he never listens to me. He puts that line in every week. Ms. Belair said the script's discriminatory lines made her look ghetto. That's a quote. Abraham would shortly be reassigned to shadow Ryan Callahan. Maybe it'll get better. Nope. Lawsuit also claims that Ryan Callahan, on the right, pitched a backstory for Saudi Arabian-born wrestler Mansoor, on the left, having secretly orchestrated the attacks of September 11, 2001. For real. It's ignorant, not even creative. It also alleged that Callahan pitched a hunting gimmick for wrestler Shane Thorne, who would hunt down wrestler Richey for fun. When Abrahams objected to a gimmick where a white man hunting a Black African-American man for sport is racist, Callahan laughed and sarcastically responded, "Oh, what? Is that a bad thing?" There was also a pitch of Richey dressing in drag. Lawsuit claims Nigerian-born wrestler Apollo Crews, forced to speak with an over-the-top Nigerian accent. Abrahams brought up concerns about the storyline to Callahan, but her complaint allegedly falling on deaf ears. Vince and Stephanie McMahon were apparently CC'd on these email complaints, along with other executives. Abrahams alleges she and another Black writer were discriminated against because of their criticisms of those ideas and lines. Termination from the company. Abrahams claims she was fired by WWE in 2022 because she took home a commemorative chair from WrestleMania 38 in Dallas, even though that was an open practice among WWE employees, and she witnessed white employees doing the very same thing without punishment. Okay? Well, Jackson, I'll start from there, okay? I think we know what it is, but her grandma would have told her, okay? You can't do what they do, okay, and expect to get away with it. But this whole thing is not shocking. Are any of these allegations shocking to you?
No, I mean, yeah, I can only imagine the amount of lawsuits that are available to be filed or that have been, swept under the rug or quietly filed and won against an organization like the WWE, who basically, being provocative and edgy is what they do. Given that that's their culture and that's what they profit from, they're going to lean into that as much as they can. So again, let alone these lawsuits, I can only imagine all the issues that people who have worked with them have faced over the years. And, especially when it comes to Vince McMahon, I mean, like, one of the most notable things that he's ever done or that he's most known for is wearing a do-rag and saying the N-word on, like live in one of the WWE segments. That's, when people think of him, that's what they think of. So again, no, this absolutely is not surprising whatsoever. I'm sure this is just a couple lawsuits among literally hundreds that have been filed against them.
And you have to think of it this way, the event that you speak of with Vince McMahon, it's just disgusting, but nobody got in your ear and said, I don't want to do that.
Right.
Because that's how pervasive this stuff apparently might be. And for Bianca Belair, I don't know if she's going to get much airtime now that they know everything she allegedly said. But I want to ask you this. I'll give you the last word. John Cena, right? Just another white superstar propped up by this company. And that's really how it goes, right? You win in the ring and then you begin to cross over and do beautiful things if you look a certain way and you're given certain storylines. When you're the villain and speaking with a thicker accent than you're natively supposed to, I don't know if those parts are coming your way or the riches that go with them. It's a hard life. Glamorous, okay. Visible, sure. But it's a hard life of travel and not as much money as people think, unless you're doing exactly. You're hawking trash bags and dancing about one of the companies that checks our credit, okay? And in all those movies.
And, just in terms of, I think one of the most egregious things about this story was the 9/11 enactment and then making the Nigerian guy speak with a thicker accent. But the 9/11 reenactment, especially because of the type of negative attention that could draw to you for carrying it out. You know what I'm saying? And how people will look at you for doing things like that. They're actually putting these people in danger, especially when it comes to that. And just kind of making a clown of yourself, which, again, is a lot of what the WWE is. It's a big clown show at the end of the day. But two, your employees are human beings, and especially if they voice concern over something that they wouldn't like to do it, there's a million other acts, there's a million other approaches that can be taken. So this is just a general work issue that isn't acceptable.
Yeah, I think you're right. And sometimes it has to be boiled down to something simple, what you just said. This is a work issue that is unacceptable and must be dealt with. And the way they dealt with it was when she complained, rightfully so, they passed her along to the next guy who wasn't milder. It was worse, right? 9/11 is gross.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Like I said, there doesn't need to be a trial. Is that we declare it happened. At least I do, okay? It's too believable.